Hello friends, good morning. One of Europe's biggest defense companies is trying to enter Canada's military market. If Canada chooses the Swedish fighter jet, up to 10,000 research and factory jobs could be created in the country. The company says it is ready to share its technology with Canada and support Canadian manufacturing. Something quiet but very important happened behind closed doors in Ottawa. Even though there was no big public announcement, the decision is already affecting military partnerships, defense companies, and global strategy. Canada made a choice that challenged long-held beliefs about loyalty to allies, dependence on one country, and how military power is built today. This was not a normal purchase or a money-saving decision. It was a clear change in direction. It forced allies to rethink what security means in a world where software, data control, and industrial power matter as much as weapons. By the end of this story, the idea of air power may look very different. There was no big press event. Still, the impact was strong, especially in Washington. Canada, a founding member of NORAD and one of the United States' closest defense partners, chose not to join the F-35 program. Instead, it selected Sweden's Gripen E fighter jet.
On the surface, this choice seemed surprising. The F-35 is used by many Western air forces, plays a key role in joint missions, and is often seen as a symbol of strong military alliances. But Canada's decision was not just about price or performance. It was about control, independence, and the ability to protect national interests without depending on systems controlled outside the country. For years, the F-35 has been presented as the future of air combat. Each aircraft is connected in a shared digital network. Sensors share information, pilots see a complete picture of the battlefield, and command centers receive constant real-time data. This system is powerful, but it comes with limits. The software, mission systems, maintenance tools, and updates are tightly controlled by U.S. companies. Countries that fly the jet can use its abilities, but they do not fully own the system behind it. Access depends on approvals, control is centralized, and national independence is reduced over time. Canada looked at this and saw a long-term problem. Modern air power is no longer just about planes and engines. It depends on software updates, secure data systems, automated decision tools, and information networks. Without control over these parts, a country slowly loses operational independence. Every update, repair, or change requires permission. This system works for some allies. Canada decided it would not work for them. The Gripen E offered a very different model. Saab designed it so the country using it controls the system. The deal included access to software, the right to make changes at home, and full control over maintenance and long-term support. Canadian teams would be able to maintain, upgrade, and adapt the aircraft without outside approval. Assembly, maintenance, and future upgrades would all happen in Canada. This changed Canada's role from being just a buyer to being an owner, and that difference shaped the entire decision.
This way of thinking matters most in the Arctic, where ideas quickly meet harsh reality. Canada's geography is difficult. Extreme cold, strong winds, limited facilities, and huge distances shape all northern military operations. Fighter jets in these conditions must be tough, flexible, and able to operate far from well-equipped bases. The Gripen was designed for places where winter lasts most of the year. It can operate from short, rough runways, including highways and simple airstrips close to forward areas. It needs less ground equipment and fewer support crews to stay ready for missions. The difference becomes clear when runways and maintenance are considered. The F-35 works best from long, carefully maintained runways with special support systems. The Gripen can take off from about 800 meters of road, refuel quickly, and return to spread out locations. This changes how air defense works in the north. Instead of keeping aircraft at just a few major bases, jets can be spread across many locations. This makes them harder to target and more likely to survive during intense conflict. Russia understands how important the Arctic is and has invested heavily there. New airfields, radar systems, and icebreakers show long-term plans. As melting ice opens shipping routes and exposes undersea resources, competition is growing. Canada's ability to watch over and defend its vast territory depends on having aircraft in remote regions for long periods. Older CF-18 jets struggled with this task and often had to return to base because of their limits. The Gripen changes this by keeping a high number of missions flying even in severe weather. Electronic warfare adds another advantage. The Gripen is designed to disrupt enemy sensors and confuse targeting systems, improving survival without relying only on stealth. Its modular maintenance system allows small teams to quickly replace engines and make repairs at forward locations. In a conflict where major air bases could be attacked, spreading aircraft out keeps air power operating instead of grounded. Military planners recognize this advantage, even if it goes against traditional buying habits.
The reaction in Washington mostly happened behind closed doors, but the concern was clear. Meetings were held, reviews were done, and warnings were shared about military compatibility and alliance unity. The worry went beyond a single contract. If a close ally could move away from the F-35 system, other countries might do the same. Quiet discussions began in European capitals. Issues like long-term costs, dependence on foreign maintenance, and limited industrial involvement started to look different when seen through Canada's decision. In practice, NATO's technical systems reduced those fears. The Gripen works with alliance data links, weapons, and communication standards. Joint training exercises require some adjustments, but those changes are manageable. Many experts pointed out that working together depends more on shared planning and coordination than on everyone using the exact same aircraft. In some cases, having different systems can actually make an alliance stronger by reducing single points of failure. Industry effects were a major factor. The Gripen agreement includes final aircraft assembly in Montreal, large-scale Canadian manufacturing, and long-term job and skills development. Thousands of engineers receive advanced training, and Canadian companies become part of the supply chain. Universities gain access to research in avionics and advanced systems. Defense spending stays inside the country instead of flowing abroad. This helps rebuild Canada's aerospace strength, which once played a major role in national innovation. Control over maintenance strengthens the case further. When aircraft software is controlled by outside companies, fixing problems depends on schedules, approvals, and special access. With the Gripen, Canadian teams can find and fix issues on their own. Aircraft return to service faster, and mission planning stays under national control. This matters not just for efficiency, but also for trust, especially when missions involve sensitive national interests. Pilot training also improves. The cockpit is designed to be intuitive and reduce workload. Training takes less time, allowing pilots to become ready faster and giving the Air Force more flexibility. The sensor systems meet modern standards while still allowing customization. Canada can adjust software for Arctic conditions and connect its own early warning systems without asking for permission. This freedom means technology adapts to Canada's geography, not the other way around. Politically, the message was clear. Canada makes defense decisions based on its own needs, not outside pressure.
This decision places Canada as an independent and active partner within its alliances, not just a follower. The effects are still spreading. Other countries are looking at this approach, not to copy it exactly, but to learn how security and national control can exist together. Alliances do not become weaker when members build their own strength. They change and adapt. Strong partnerships are based on flexibility, shared responsibility, and mutual respect. For the United States, the message is straightforward. Allies are not guaranteed customers. They are independent nations that must balance shared defense goals with their own national control. For medium-sized countries watching closely, the message is even clearer. Security and sovereignty do not conflict when technology choices support long-term national interests. Canada now controls the future of its air power. Arctic defense can operate without needing outside approval. Upgrades happen on Canadian schedules. Skilled engineers can build careers at home. Defense spending supports local communities while improving military capability. This moment reflects confidence, not rebellion, and independence without isolation. The Gripen shows that strategic independence is still possible in a highly connected world. In a related move, the federal government has chosen Bombardier to supply 6 Global 650 aircraft for the Royal Canadian Air Force. This is one of the first major purchases handled by the new Defence Investment Agency. The $753 million Canadian contract will replace the aging CC-144 Challenger fleet, which has served well but is no longer able to meet modern operational needs.
Deliveries are planned to start in the summer of 2027, with the aircraft expected to become operational before the end of that year. This faster schedule shows the government's goal to move more quickly than older military purchasing processes allowed. The aircraft are being bought under the Airlift Capability Project, Multi-Role Flight Service. This program focuses on flexibility rather than one single task. Once in service, the jets will support many missions, including medical evacuations, humanitarian aid, disaster response, and national security operations within Canada and overseas. The contract also includes pilot training, maintenance training, and military-specific upgrades. This means the aircraft will arrive ready for use instead of needing years of extra modifications. Operationally, the program fills a growing gap. The CC-144 Challenger aircraft, while reliable, do not have the range, cargo capacity, or flexibility needed for today's missions. Recent emergencies at home and missions abroad have highlighted these limits, forcing temporary solutions that slowed response times and increased logistical pressure. Overall, the Global 6500 fleet marks a clear step forward in Canada's approach to strategic airlift. It provides longer range, better reliability, and the ability to stay on mission longer. That's all for today. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe Skyjet Wings for more. Thanks for watching.